I thought, what a corker. Even the flower itself, the colouring on that. Then the butterfly obviously takes over from the flower. But Boston picture. So we start off with him. Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. I copied this a few years back and misplaced it. So I've copied this again, and I'm going through it slowly. If anybody's interested in that one. This was last weekend down Bewdley. This is our nearest seaside resort. River Severn. Flood barriers them up. As you can see there, they're getting close. And after last night's rain as well, because it didn't stop all night. So this has got to be even higher now. Raw eggshells have been defrosted on the microwave, defrost there for 15 minutes. That clears them out. I'll just smash them up. Malcolm Knock, he had some seed offers earlier on. Hello, Mick, I've had great germination of those Long Joe chili seeds off your mate. I just had to tell you because you no doubt get what's done. Some corking cannas about. Lynn Griffiths, another good day with Auntie Lynn. That's her dog sitting last week. I think it's gone back now. Really good compost after the wet weather last week. Been playing catch up, 170 bags ready to go. God, he must be fit as a ferret. My mate Roger, parsnip Victor, 6-day germination. This is in tissue, damp tissue. Works with quite a few seeds. Honeyberry, that's why we're going in the tunnel. I'm hoping it'll look like this later on. I found this photo, now I know what the chaps look like. So hopefully end of the season I should have some on. See how we go. This was took what did I say? This has got to be Tuesday, I think. I've seen this chap walking his dog about a few times. Had a few words with him, and then because he seen me badge on my jacket, and he shook my hand. I says, "What's that for?" It was ex-forces badge, and he says, "How long do you do?" I says, 12 years. He says, "Thank you for looking after me for 12 years." I thought that's very kind of you, sir. Gentlemen. Members class for this is our Colligate Gardening Club. This is what I've used most of the seed for. Otherwise, you would have had some rolling. But I've had to put a 30 seed in for the members class. This is to get our lot exhibiting, having the courage to enter. But we'll cover that again. Here we go. So propagator, there's all my seed soaking. After a couple of days, the water goes a bit crap and I renew it. But as soon as they spurt, and I'll pot on one just coming through there. As soon as they're about 2 inches high, then they get moved out of here, out to the propagator. So there's 3 in that lot. There we've renewed the water.
How deep do you plant the seeds in the pots, Mick?
They're just below the surface.
Okay, thank you.
We might see that later on. But there's a few spurting, as you can see. I'm trialing different methods. This was last weekend, obviously the rugby. This weekend's a break and it starts again next weekend. But at Ireland, I'm going to take some beating this year. They're on form. First time I've had 4 talks within a week. So I've got Rubery. It was on the 14th. Wrexham 15th. Marston Green and then burnt wood. So Marston Greens tomorrow, and Tuesday is burnt wood. Right, different couple of mixtures there of different manures. Plus I've got my seaweed because I need to make a tea bag of manure. I need to make liquid manure for my raffle prizes, which I donate. Because what I used to use in heaven, what I call heaven, the biggest pile of smoke you'd ever seen. Paul knows what I'm on about. But that place changed hands, the stables, and they got rid of all the manure, and they stopped people going in. Meaning I lost my contact from my runoff liquid manure, so I've got to start making it. So I've got my bin, that's my compost tea bin, as you can see. But I just need the bucket. Got my tea bag there underneath, so I'm going to fill him up. Perfect. Rainwater. Use rainwater now for everything, and not just give him a dunk about 12 times. I'm going to leave him for a couple of days. We'll go back onto him later on. Right, you'll see the cannas now. These haven't been watered yet at all. If I do water them, they're going to go bloody haywire. So I'm still just doing, taking the moisture from the, I mean, it's bone dry. I don't want it to go for it. Right, from Willow Flamingo. Beautiful. He's just started coming into spurt, but he's taking over. I've got to prune the chap. I'm trying to get a close up there of the buds, but it's out of focus. So let's sort him out. Reading up on it, like most things, you've got to be cruel to be kind, and they will come back because he was shading everything. The two that was in here, I took out from last year. But I've chopped him right down. That's better. Ben got Pet doing a bit of that's fair. I meant to take a photo when he finished him. That's fair. The wearing his shorts, his vest, got his pipe, got his sandals on. This is what we've outside on the patio. Kath mentioned this, sent me an email last week. Electroculture. I've heard of this a few years back. Looked into it. Been looking at all the YouTube posts. There's quite a bit on it, and I've been looking at the new ones because people trial and error as well. Basically, it's copper and zinc wire. But the move on now, because people have been trying it, what they're using now was conductivity. I'm using a copper rod or tubing to go into the ground instead of a stick, hold it around a stick. So add a perv on eBay. There's some of the zinc and the copper. And then two come in the post. So I'm trialing that at the moment. Right, that's been in 2 days, so I'll
Kill the
get.
plants.
Sorry, mate?
And doesn't the copper kill the plants?
No. Somebody mentioned that on one of the YouTubes. This is no, they have no side effects, nothing.
It was
Why don't
supposed,
plants?
if you knock nails, copper nails in it, it's meant to kill the plants.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, nobody's had any adverse effect across. There's bloody loads of people doing it. It's just taking poor mate, yes, hand up.
I tried it all last year, and it did nothing.
No.
No, I had a massive stick. I had a load of copper wire that I wrapped around it. I've done 2 identical plants side by side in pots to see what the difference would be.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, Mick, I didn't see any difference whatsoever.
Yeah. What I'm doing now is using copper tubing and wrap round that.
Yeah, well, you can B&Q, we've got earth rods that are about 1 metre long, solid copper.
Ah,
So whether that would work or not. But when I tried, it didn't. I wrapped it really loosely to start off with, then I wrapped it tight.
yeah,
Good quality copper wire. It was about 3 or 4 mil thick that I wrapped around it. And I'll be honest, it didn't make any difference whatsoever. But it don't mean I ain't going to try it again.
yeah.
See again what happens. But they all claim it does something. But we'll see.
Just takes energy out of the atmosphere.
Supposed to put it back into the ground, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm gonna get to go anyway. Did you go
Mm.
clockwise and anti-clockwise? You try it both ways.
No, probably not. Only probably clockwise.
Yeah, because they were saying the southern hemisphere, you got it's like us and Aussie. The way it's
Yeah.
going down the plug hole goes a different way to us, doesn't it?
Mm.
Mm, nature.
Well, it's still open to try it, isn't it? I mean, you could even stick a piece of 15 mil copper tube in, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Try that, wrap that round either way, and then put another rod in. Yeah.
yeah. I'll keep having a go anyway. Right, Darren Rog is given us a talk a few times. So my co-host for our podcast is going to contact you for an interview. Her name is Molly Green. I've given her your email and the strapline that you are the only bloke in gardening that truly talks shit. Thank you very much, sir. I hope that's okay. As you'll be joining Adam from Monty Don. He was taking the P there, by the way. Right, I did the interview for her, ready for the podcast, and whether she uses it or not, I'm not sure because I did run Dudley Council down quite a bit, which might upset a few more. Right, one of my talks earlier on, where am I? Gareth Davis is in the Welsh, well, he's in National Veg Society, but he's in the Welsh branch of it as well. And he's down Wrexham. He gave me a tink and says, can I do a talk? And everything I asked him, has the venue got a screen? So he sent me this photo. He says, we haven't got a screen, but we've got a nice big white wall, which is better than a screen because I go back as far as I can with the table. So I get a nice big picture. And a bonus there, I thought they got their own projector built in. But when we got there, they weren't a caretaker there in the sense that the wenches behind the bar didn't know how to keep that up. So I took my own comf anyway. But that's a nice big room, good venue. So we sorted out for that one. And then he said, would you mind if I invited Nick Pengelly? Just seeds. He gives Wilder members 10% off seeds. I said, no problem, John. This is heritage seed, veg and fruit. We'll come on to that later on as well. We're talking about cows trumping and whatever while we're on about Wales. Scott sent me this. He's got some on tonight, so he called make it tonight. But he says, I saw this during the week. Banana in the hydroponic shop, and it was going a loop even this time of the year. He says if you want to bung it on. So we have. There we are. Right, our show last year. There was the Gladys I had last year. Obviously timing them for the to time them for the day is bloody hard, but everybody's in the same boat. I couldn't get three the same, so I had to put a two and a single for a class of three Gladys, obviously. And all the others were singles. Two prims there, the small ones. And then 2 days after the show, what did I have? This corker. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 florets on it. Beautiful. And then 3 days after the show, I've got 3 of these. Yeah, if I got them on for the show, beautiful. Them at Ajax, a new one I found last year. So, but them nice. Boston flower. And that was on this. Is it Chrissy? Yeah. Someone exhibited that last year, and I know it's on Facebook tonight. British Gladiator Society. There's nurseries. I've started flogging this because I'm flogging the corms already, the nurseries. And somebody's noticed Chrissy is out, so if you see that one, it is a corker, as you can see. That's our kid Pete. He's still jumping and climbing bloody mountains.
Yeah. Okay, so good evening, everybody. This is Elmfield Hall, which is in a little town next to Accrington called Church. And at the back of here is where we garden. But the link to something that Mick said last week was the post office scandal. And the co-star with Toby Jones from the series that was on telly, Julie Hesmond-Elsh, is actually an Aki lass. And if we go to the next slide, that street, which is just at the side of the park, is where she was actually born and brought up. So quite proud to have her from our town. Next one. And this is her, it's not gardening, but she helped do a winter writing trail around the town to try and encourage children to write short stories and poems and things. And she comes back to Accrington on a fairly regular basis. She's absolutely lovely. What you see is what you get with her. She's really chatty, down to earth, hasn't changed a bit. Next one, mate. And this is me with her in Accrington Town Hall. We both gave a short presentation for the blessing, not blessing. A new banner had gone up, a 200-foot banner in Accrington on an absolutely awful 1970s, 60s, 70s eyesore of a building. The thing that came down was about the Accrington Pals, which is one of my other interests and passions. And there was a lot of upset, but I gave it my blessing to come down. I helped be involved with designing it when it went up. Anyway, it was coming down, so I went into town and saw the contractors and said, could I have a piece of it? And they said, no, the council have said no one is allowed to have any of it. No. I said, give me a minute, I'll make a phone call. So I rang the comms officer up at the council and said I was down there and was it all right to have a piece? She said, Kath, seeing as it's you, yeah, you can. So I said, I only want a bit. I know exactly which bit I want. And that's the bit that I saved, the cat badge from the East Lancs 11th Service Battalion.
Oh,
And it was
excellent.
quite a bit bigger than I thought. we rolled it out in the car park where we garden. I thought, oh no, here we go again. Because I have no concept of measurement. And we set to it with massive yard brushes, cleaning it down a bit. So I've saved that and it will come out on special and certain occasions. Right, next.
Excellent.
Yeah. So this is one of my little friends that started coming down again. I have a welcoming committee where we garden, and we seem to have a pair of robins. So this is one robin, and then I think the next one, the next photo is, oh, that's the other robin. If I've not been down for a couple of days, they get really, really brave and wait right next to me while I'm trying to unlock the greenhouse, telling me to get a riddle on and to get some food out. But what they've also been doing is they've been coming in the glass house, which is the next photo. And they keep coming down the far end where the grapevines are. And I'm pretty sure they're doing a recce for a nest. Next one. And I think, I don't know, but I have a suspicion they might nest either in that basket that's hanging up or under the upturned troughs, because they have done nests in similar places in the past.
Mm.
Well, next one, Mick. This is one of the nests that they made in the polytunnel. There was an upturned trough on top of this, and it wasn't until we were having a tidying up session and I lifted it up to stack everything, I discovered this nest. We knew they were in the polytunnel, but we'd absolutely no idea where they were. I mean, you can watch them, and you think you know where they've gone, but they haven't. And this was a complete surprise to us when we found it. Next one. And then this is another one in the polytunnel from about 3 years ago. This was one of those black little potato sacks that you well, we've stopped using them because they're rubbish. But it was more or less upside down, and I could heard some flapping and some messing about. I thought, oh God, it's rats. So I went and had a look, and something shot out. That's not a rat. And then I looked inside and I thought, oh, bless, it's the robins. They're trying to make a nest. So what I did was I repositioned the bag, and I got a bulldog clip and twisted the front of the bag and put the bulldog clip on it to make like a bit of a dip in it. Then there's something to rest on and nest, and that's where they nested. And I think there was 6 chicks in there that all seemed to successfully get away. They do tend to stay in the polytunnel or wherever for a while until, you know, they're big enough to fly out themselves and everything.
Oh,
So we're really pleased with all the nests, the random nests that we get. There's others as well that we've found in bizarre places. Next one. And this is signs of life, because there's not much really going on this time of year, but this is rhubarb in one of the compost bins. We tidied up some rhubarb in some big planters that we have, and I didn't realise I chucked it in the compost bin, and lo and behold, last year with some really beautiful, healthy plants, and they obviously love it in the compost bin, and it's being forced because of the lid being on it. So maybe in a while we'll have some nice rhubarb to go at. Next one.
I'm a bit of muck on him, Kath.
Oh yeah, they absolutely love it in there. They're thriving because it's the compost bin.
Yeah.
Next one. And this is more signs of life. This doesn't seem to have died back at all this year. It's a cardoon. And if you can find some space for one, I'd advise growing some. They're a perennial vegetable, so they're edible, but also they get this it's like almost like a globe artichoke head on it, but it has a purple flower, and the bees go absolutely mad for it. So it's well worth it for it being a perennial, edible, and bee food as well. It absolutely hums with bees. They love it. Next one. Oh, and talking about rats, they've been in the compost bin this last few days. I've managed to put all the fronts back on, so I thought, and went to it on when did I go down? Friday, and found this. So today I went back down and I shoveled all the excess that's come out into the top of the compost bin. And I thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to tie the fronts on. They would not wedge down. So I thought, right, adapt and overcome as we do on allotments and growing sites. So I thought, right, what can I do? I got a bradawl, and then I thought I'm going to have to heat it up somehow. So I thought, we've got some firelighters for if we have a barbecue. And I got the matches. So I'm outside on my hands and knees with a firelighter, a bradawl, some tie wraps, trying to light this firelighter with damp matches. So My well-placed plan failed miserably because of wet matches, so I'm gonna have to try again another time with something else. Maybe take a blowtorch down to heat up the Bradle and punch some holes. So that was that. Next one. And this is the polytunnel. So the storms that we've had this last few weeks, it's absolutely wrecked it now. We were trying to keep it going. The cover is at least 15 years old, and there was a rip in it. So what we did is we got some see, it's draped in the middle. It's the clean bit in the middle. It's some sort of roofing felt, and it's like a really rigid, strong plastic. So what we did was we battened it on one side, threw it over, pulled it as tight as we could, battened it down on the other side, and stuck it. And it actually worked for a good few months. It kept the polytunnel going, but as I said, these storms, it's wrecked it. So we're gonna have to look for getting a new covering just to keep us going for the next 2 or 3 years until we redevelop the site. Because as it is, we can't leave it. I didn't want to have to reskin it if we could avoid it, but we've had it now. So that's
Gaff, you've
another
done
job.
well with it lasting 15 years.
On
I'm
it,
going to
yeah,
say that. Oh,
yeah,
excellent.
yeah. I don't know. It must be a much better plastic because the other two polytunnels that we've got, I don't think they lasted 4 years before they started ripping.
Yeah.
And this one just had a small rip on one of the ribs near to the door. That's all it had on it, and a couple of holes from like fireworks and things which we patched up. But it has done brilliantly. But I don't know who did it initially. Okay, next one.
Yeah. Them two I'd done for the disabled plots. I think I had them about 8 years. And
Yeah,
where the creases,
yeah.
that's where they started to go originally. We'll just
Oh,
tape them
right.
up with horticultural tape.
Yeah,
Got another 4 years out of them. But all
yeah,
15 years out.
yeah. Yeah,
Done well.
it must be because I've been going down there probably nearly 20 years. I can't remember the timescales maybe have I been going down. But yeah, it has really lasted. Really good quality stuff. Next one. Well, and then we're back to signs of life. You can't really see it. The colours aren't there as they are when you see them with the naked eye. But we've got all these lovely little hellebores coming through,
Yeah.
the little nodding pink heads. And I noticed the other day when I went down and I opened the gates, you can see the gaps between the rungs of the gates. Well, the flowers all seem to line up with the rungs. It's bizarre how nature finds its ways, and when you open the gate onto them, it's not crushing them or anything because
Oh,
they're all popping a little heads through the gates. It's brilliant, brilliant. Oh, and we did some guerrilla gardening on there last week with some allium bulbs that we found that weren't doing very well in a pot. So we dug in a couple of places and popped those in, so they'll be nice when they come through later on in the summer.
that
It
ain't bad.
varies. Yeah. We haven't got a toilet or anything, so we struggle really letting people go there. But once we
Oh,
redevelop it, one of
yeah,
the main aims is a toilet. It'd be a right luxury, will that?
yeah. Lizzie, you got a question? You got your hand up?
Yeah, question for Kath.
Yeah.
Cardoons, they're massive, aren't they?
They do get quite tall and they can get big, but
Yeah.
I think it's where they are that you saw the size of that tub.
Yeah.
They haven't filled it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I suppose if you had them in a border, there might be they might start trying to overtake a bit because they do spread slightly, I've noticed as well. But I think if you contain them, they're fine.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Lovely, Kath. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
No,
much.
thank you.
You're my
Thank
star.
you. Right, I'll mute myself now.
Right, who's that there? I think it's Jared. I hope he's got some underpants on. What it is, he got a bit excited because he's advertising his new raised bed. That's a good raised bed. That where did you get that from, Paul?
They was at B&Q.
Aye.
Yeah, they started off at about 80 quid as they do. It's all galvanized steel. And they dropped them down to 26 quid.
Oh,
So he said he wanted a couple, so we went in and bought 4 of them. So he's built that one, and then he's going to put another one either behind it or beside it or something.
yeah.
But that was yesterday. Now you can tell what the weather's like.
They're ideal, them, are they?
Yeah, it's about 4.5 foot by 2.5 foot,
Yeah,
and then maybe 2 foot high.
real. Excellent. Right, I mentioned these last week. I've had a couple of fruit trees off these, Victoriana. And on their website, there's loads of things you can click on with pruning stuff. It tells you about everything. So if you're interested in your fruit and you want to know when to do some at all, varieties, just click on their website. Very well. Right, with these talks coming up, I need to get me little spares ready for a flog on my talks. So the first one is liquid fish. That's it, how I got it. The last lot off Gareth Hopcroft. He did send me originally large blue containers. And then he had this bottles. He made it and put them in these bottles so they can flog in the hydroponic shops. But they concaved in and the public wouldn't buy them. So luckily for me, he sent me them lot as well. So that's what a decanter. But it is thick as a ferret because I'm turning up even further. And it still won't come out. And to get it out, I just put him in a jug, put boiling water around, leave him for about 3 minutes, shake it until he does become loose. And as soon as I hear that, I bung him back in there again. In the hot water for another 2 minutes, and then he's ready to pour. Well, he's still thick now, but at least he's pouring. That's the only way I can get him in. Once I've finished these, a drop of rainwater will go in there. I shake all the surplus out of that, put it in that one, and then do the same again, put it in that one. Then I've got another feed at the bottom. Then I bung these, obviously. So I'm just getting ready for the bits and pieces. There's Feather with his sandals. Always got sandals and shorts on the vest. And his pipe. I can remember when he got to about 70, when they started doing the MOTs for the old ones. He used to like his hot toddy on a night, his whiskey, and his pipe. And they talked him into packing his pipe up and his hot toddy. Worst thing he ever did. Body couldn't take it in the road. The small ones here, these weren't doing for the free raffle prize. So that chap will go into the raffle prize. So that's ready for the next 4 talks. Putting my labels on, finishing the bottles. Then packing up, ready for them to go. Right, propagate again. Let's have another perv. Right, there's another 4 opened up there, come through. Also, you can just
Last question.
the ginger. I put 2 lots of ginger in.
Last question.
Somebody's got the mic on, please. Can you mute? So them lot have been put in there. And now I'll start looking for others that have spurted. Just get them out with an old spoon. And all I'm doing, it's only about 1/2 inch. Just lay them horizontal. I don't use cold water. Luckily, I've got a kettle. I've got electric up in the greenhouse. And it's just not warm, but it's bloody cold. I don't want to give him a chicken growth. Look after the chaps. So I'm slowly filling that gap up. Spaces. Another chap coming through. Golden tiger. It's a good one, this is.
Is that is that vermiculite or grit in there?
Vermiculite.
Yeah, thank you.
I always use a fistful of vermiculite in a bowl of clover. Just to help it out. Brazilianus, this is these are good ones and all. My compost that I've got mixed up there for my cannas seeds when they come through. I just put that lid on it, stop that drying out, like so, until the rest not come out. Right, another trial, because these are really hard. I'm folding them up. Now I'm going to wet that with warm water. Now I'm going to place it inside. I did this last year, put them in the any cupboard, it worked. But you've got to put it on the calendar, check them every other day. So that's our boiler, obviously. So that's going to stay nice and warm. 3 days ago, first flossing in the greenhouse. So it is getting milder. Right, quick perv. So I need some more bits and pieces. Compost bin. Take all my covers off. Still working well because the worms in between all my layers gorge on them. Beautiful. What I'm going down is 2 inches. That's what I want to see. Bung them back on where to, if it needs it. I had another nose today and it's even chocker. Right, these are going down the shed Saturday just gone. That was yesterday. So this is a couple of days before. I'm just giving them water because these are going out. And everything else, obviously, things that are in pots who hasn't got the watering system on it. Gotta keep watering them. Going past again, get another dunk. And then ready for my talk, which the first one was this was last Wednesday. So I needed a bottle. There it is. Ready. These are just 4 photos I found out. I've got to put it on Facebook to see if the boys recognise the kids, or even if the kids probably about 15, 16 now. If because I was going to bin them, I thought it was ashamed to bin them. Ask the parents if they want them. There's the little horrors. That butter wouldn't melt, but they loved it. And this is what the Casline Primary School Gardening Club Tuesday afternoon. I've always got to take some at home, always. Near them having a snail race. That was how they're getting the carrots, florist buckets. Right, water bottles for me liquid fish. I've changed the bottles. The first lot I had, those weak as hell. And they got crap tops. Because when you pull that top open, when you open it with your thumb, it splashes all the water out. That's no good for bloody fish. So I had to scrub around the idea. That was too weak. Right, coming back in the van, because I put this netting down, keep the cats off over winter. I noticed the plants going through, as you can see there, through the net, the holes in the net. I thought, God, Bennett, good job, I bloody seed. So I had to cut through the net, make that hole a bit bigger, just to pull these through. There's a lot caught up in it. Right, you're all free. Now you can carry on growing. Right, just checking everything here. Got a bit more room in there. So what we're going to use, I found this in the kitchen. I thought that would be ideal. Perfect. One per each pole. So I'm getting the pots out that have got 3 seeds in, i.e. these 2. So I put 3 in there and 3 in there. Which is all. So how am I going to mark this? Right, we'll put a number on there, number on that one, and then just number down the side of these. Obviously keep them pots so I know which is which. And this ain't going to take too much space up. Perfect. So we see how they go. Give me a bit more extra room. Indoor plants, everything's started to come back into life now. So this is the first good watering he's had since end of last year. Give him a good soaking, let him drain. These lot, I'm turning them so they don't go to the light, because the sun comes up here and goes down there, so they'll be drawn that way. Straws, about half and half at the moment. But I have upended some of the pots and they've got the white roots in, so hoping they'll come back. I think that's some type of geranium. Overwintered him. That's my blueberry. You got to be potted on soon in the tunnel. That's my giant Cape gooseberry. Yep, that's the ones that look duff. Thought I'd lost them, but they've still got white roots. So keeping the lot. More manure. That's a mixture of each. And my next one, I've got to upend, take out. And I've got to manure the bottom again with a good brew. And this is me plum. Got a bit of blossom on him. That's a good brew there. That's going to go under his iris. So once again, he's got to come down on his side. And I'm just going to pull that out this road. I had to get Ben out in the end just to grab hold of the pot while I pulled him out. He's looking for a pad down London. He had a virtual look around the place. They do it on when it's virtual. They take film of the house down there and he seen it on a Zoom. And the cheapest one he said is a grand a month. What do you know? Still, back to this. Pulling them out slowly. And did come out in $1, luckily. So that lot is good in there to bring him to the surface. Because no matter with a small pot or because it's a raised bed in it, and they're going to drop every year with the compaction and the rain and the watering.
There's not many roots on that, Mick.
There's one.
There's not many roots on that round the side.
No. Well, he's just coming back to life, isn't he? So 8.5 inch. That's how much I've got to lift him. God knows where the other brick went. I couldn't find him anywhere. So that is good in there. I want a bit of wood chip in the bottom first. Only a jug full. Just about level with that brick. Right, measure that and that. There's at least 2.5 inches got to go in. Well, now it's going to be compact when I put it back in anyway. So we did get him back in. So I'm looking this road to get him upright. Then I should stand over here Make sure he's upright that way. So all I'm doing now is putting my fingers down here and packing the sides in with me material. Perfect. Put the netting back on because of the SAS squirrels. Because I've only got one hole in the middle of the pot, you've got to keep this pot level. If it's not level and you have water congregating up a corner, then it's going to do crap. So if you do get it level, which I've got him level there, perfect. Then give him a good watering. So I'm slowly getting round there. That one I'm leaving, my fig, because I like it nice compact. He's been draining all day. He can go back in the house. Taking Highness a walk. That should have been in focus, not that. I just pick a dried worm. And I thought, well, let's try him out. He looks half and half. So I spit on him, which is going to be warm and moist, obviously. So that's going to warm up, and then I breathed on him. And what happened? Good lad. Take care, boy. Brought the chap back to life. Worm whisperer. Public musting must after shit. Keep feeding me birds, changing the way to for them. Highness doing the rounds in the tunnel. Getting these ready for Saturday. Ben done us another drink. Bloody loop on the spinach and what's the curly kale, plus a little bits. But it does taste nice, better than what it looks. Checking my seeds. Right, this was yesterday back down the shed. Had about six customers. So in between, luckily it was a nice day. They forecast rain from 3 o'clock. Our shed was open 12 till 2. And for the first time ever, there was nearly enough money spot on. Meaning, I could fork out the rest of this crap, which was there. Put down the mid, take on, and get a line of these out. It's just a bit of bullshit for the public and for the gaffers of the club itself. And eventually, we're going to wallop these 2 or 3 sheds. Make it a bit better. Right, that's ready for me first talk. There's my raffle prizes. And that was Rubery, which is in Brum, WI. Obviously, Women's Institute. So there's no members can go in. But that was a good night. That is about 5 years ago. But they were a good bunch. It's a good night in there. And then that was on the Wednesday the 14th. Then the next night, Thursday 15th. This was down Wrexham. I think it was 2 hours just about to get down there. So I legged it down there. Went round the back, and that's the place we was using, the hall there. So in fact, where this photo was taken from, that's where I was parked. That's the nearest I could get, obviously, to get my stuff in there. That's me setting up, obviously, the compost talk. And brilliant turnout. First talk they've ever put together. It was Wrexham Allotment and Leisure Garden Association. And quite a few of the chaps I've met. I used to see down Malvern. These are all the Welsh NVS gardeners. So a few veg men. Halfway through we had a break. And grub. Grub always goes down well. I think these were hot and so on as well. And that was ready for the second half. But it was a good night. Gareth Davis, that's the chap who organised it. I hadn't met him before, heard on him, but the first time I met him. But these two I'd met, Bill Jones
I think perhaps
and Don Owens. But them two I've seen at Morgan. But Boston night on. And they want us back again. Gordon Pennant.
it's
Right, my seed man, he come up to us later.
get playing for a few weeks.
He offered me a load of seeds. Obviously these lot. So there's quite a few seeds in each envelope. But I'm going to offer them to our lot, the gardening club. But if there is any left, if anybody's interested, just let me know. If you want to see him again, the seed, if it's too quick, you took a photo or whatever, it'll be on YouTube tomorrow. Just have a nose. But he donated them, he's a good lad. And the next talk, which is tomorrow night, which is this one. This is Marston Green Village Hall. This is near Brum, well, it is in Brumman Hall. This is a new one for me. But that's a compost. Non-members, £2. Entrance fee. I put it on the Compost King Brew as an event. So if anybody's interested. And then Tuesday day after, Burntwood Garden Guild. This is in Rugeley. Now, this is a Boston place. There's the place itself. Nice big room. But this at the back is superb. Go on in. They've got like a little allotment there, community garden. And this lot as well. And that. It's a brilliant setup. I'd love something like that to work on if we got anything like that local, but we ain't. But I've been here. Well, they've had every talk I've got because I'm cheap and I donate raffle prizes. They've got a year on the plot. But a good venue, Boston venue, nice big car park and all. And there's Jeffrey. He's just had I don't know what you call it, Jeffrey. Not an excuse for a appeal, but he's had a good few days of a session. What was it called, Jeffrey? You're on.
He's gone, Mick, because he said he couldn't hear anything, so he's give up.
But he was off last week, obviously, but he's back on tonight. What he called tell us. It is halfway through the week. The blossom on there, I couldn't believe it.